Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I would like to share some tips or techniques or ideas how you can package your soap. As you can see here, I have two batches of soap that are ready to be packaged. And the first thing I like to do is to smoothen the edges of the soap here along the line, just to make it more comfortable to hold in your hand. I'm using this tool here from Brambleberry. It's a correcting tool. It has two different tools on each end. And what I like to do is just run it along the edge, as you can see here. And I find that this makes a very easy, smooth edge. There are of course other techniques that you can use. Some people like to use potato peelers. I prefer this tool. It works very well for me. I know some people like to use this soap shaver here. This is a soap shaver from Brambleberry. And of course you can use it to smoothen the surfaces of the soap as well. But if you hold your soap in a 45-degree angle, then you can also run it through and then you have a smooth finish. That's another possibility how you could do it. There is another tool, it's called a soap beveler, I believe, and it's a wooden tool, and then you can see there is a wire in a 45-degree angle. I hope you can see it, it's a little tiny. And then what you do is you hold your soap and then you run it through like this, and the result you can see here, it gives like this cut corner. It's also cute if you like that one. I'm going to run the correcting tool along the edges here and smoothen all the edges of the soap before I move on to the packaging. And here something I would like to show you. A very good point about using this correcting tool is that you are not having a lot of waste. So the soap is clean, and then here you can see it's a little waste you have, so that's a plus point. The next step is to actually package the soap. What I like to do is I like to use shrink bags that I like to keep in a mug, so I can just pull it out and then I add the soap to it. I also like to keep my gloves on just because I feel that I can work cleaner. And then I have this impulse sealer here that comes from Amazon, for example, and it's very easy to use. It has a little lamp here. You just add your shrink bag in it, like you sandwich it, you keep the handle down until the lamp switch is off, then you release the handle and then your bag is sealed. As you can see, this is a very fast method, a very fast process. I'm going to show you once again. Here you have the shrink bag. These ones come from Amazon. I think you can order it also on other places, and they come in different sizes and in different thickness as well. So you see, you're done. You remove the overflow and then you just continue, and I apply the same procedure with the same materials for melt and pour soap as well. For melt and pour, the difference is that you need to shrink wrap it immediately, because melt and pour soap base is made of glycerin, and glycerin has the property to attract moisture to it, so you will end up having soap with little sweaty pearls on it, and it doesn't look appealing. And of course, if you prefer, you can also just use cellophane bags and just wrap your soap in it. You can also just have it this way sealed and then not shrink wrapped. I mean, that's really according to your personal preference. By the way, this impulse sealer here comes for about 40 euros or dollars in Amazon, so it's really not very expensive. If you prefer, of course, you can also use like a more eco-friendly kind of packaging. I have another video here on my channel where I show how you can very easily, just by using a printer, you could also just package your soap in paper, which is also a very nice method. Like you had in these old-fashioned shops, you have this soap that is actually wrapped in paper. I think it's a great method as well. So if you are interested in seeing this video, you can find it in the right corner here. Here I will show just a fast forward video of how you can easily package soap in paper. Moving on to the next step, it is the actual shrinking of the plastic. So I like to use a heat gun. I think you can use also a hair dryer if you have one that is strong enough or hot enough. So I'm starting by heating it up a little bit. I usually test it on my leftover plastic just to see that it shrinks well. And then I place my soap on a cutting board. Turn it around a little bit, smoothen the edges. That's very important because then you don't want to have like edges poking out. And here we go, that's a method how you can do it. Of course, you also have some shrink wrap that doesn't need to be sealed, like you can see here in the picture. And then you would just shrink wrap it. That's another method if you prefer this one. Here I'm showing a way you can package glycerin soap without shrink wrapping it. Would be just to add it to a cellophane bag and then adding a nice ribbon to it. Very simple, very classic. Why not? Makes a nice gift as well. So you're always good to go. Alright, also one thing I wanted to mention is I like to use a vase or a container, as you can see here on the left side, so I can place my heat gun in it without being afraid of burning something on my table or hurting myself with, because it can get really hot. And for that reason I sometimes pause my heat gun just for a couple of seconds, because it can get hot and then the plastic can shrink really more than what you need. So just be careful about it, and if you don't feel confident, then you could also wear some gloves. I know people that just wear gloves while doing this. That's totally okay. Here is an example of some heat-safe gloves for grilling that you could use, or you can just use your regular gloves that you're using for soap making. Then we are moving on to the next step, which is an optional step, and in my case I need to put two labels on it. One is a label on the back and then one to the front that describes what a soap is called or what a soap actually is, like for example typically the fragrance. Here you can see the label that comes to the front. It says Black Raspberry Vanilla Handmade Soap, and then I have these labels here for the back that describe all the ingredients and all the information, also including a batch number. And the labels I made them myself, and I just printed out on the printer. I printed out on a glossy label, so it makes it a little bit more elevated. And then you can see here, this is a very simple process. You just add your label to the soap that is already shrink wrapped, and you're good to go. And then of course, this is just one possibility of how you can package soap. There are many other variations, many other things that I've seen, like with cardboard boxes or cigar bands and things like this, and I think they are all so interesting, and I find it really impressive how many ideas that people can come up with for packaging idea. But if you ask me, I think that packaging makes such a difference for a product. It can totally change, you know, if it's packed in another way. That's like really incredible. So that's one easy way you can do it to keep the soap nicely packed and hygienic. Then here I'm just adding the label to the back now. And then we are done. Here we go. The soap is ready to be shipped. So I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you around for another one very soon. Have a nice day, and bye bye.